Hello dear students, in this subject groundwater assessment and development, today we'll discuss some problems. We'll solve some problems on this first chapter, groundwater hydrology. So before going to solve these problems, first we discussed about this specific storage just to one parameter, aquifer parameter actually that we missed. Okay, this one parameter that we'll discuss first, then we'll go to solve problems. Okay. This specific storage is similar to this storage-ability. This you can read it same as the storage-ability, only little difference is that. Conceptually, it is same. The volume of water released from unit volume of a saturated aquifer under unit change in head is known as specific storage. Okay, but changing. Okay, from here to here, for changing one means unit head. The volume of water we need to release from unit volume of a saturated aquifer, that is called specific storage. Means volume of water released divided by volume of aquifer, okay, and this delta S per unit head, per unit change in head. So storageability, that already you know, storage coefficient or storageability, that was the volume of water released per unit area of the aquifer, not volume of the aquifer. Per unit of area of the aquifer per unit change in head. Okay, just here only the volume instead of area, it is volume of aquifer. So this is specific storage, and the dimension of this specific storage, okay, L minus 1, that is the length, inverse of length. Okay, means meter inverse or centimeter inverse or mm inverse, it is calculated. So per unit volume, you can see the per unit volume of the aquifer, per unit volume of the aquifer, how much water we can extract, how much water we can extract per unit change in head, per unit change in head. Okay. This specific storage, if we go to into detail, if we want to go to into the deep, then this specific storage is due to this compressibility of soil and compressibility of water, which means this total volume of water that is released due to decrease in head from this water table, the water which we are releasing, okay, the volume of water which is released due to decrease in head comprises the value of water released due to compressibility of soil and compressibility of water. So during that release, these two things happen. One is compressibility of water, there will be compression of water, and there will be compression of soil. So due to these two phenomena, the volume of water which is released, that happen. Okay. So this compressibility and compressibility of soil and water comprising both, this equation is derived. So the derivation at this particular time, it is not required. Okay, and this storage, this specific storage, that mathematically we can express like this, that is 1 by total volume of water into dVW by dH. dVW means the volume of water in the porous media that we extracted, that is released, and this is the total volume of the aquifer divided by dH, means per unit change in head. Mathematically you can express, and if we derive considering these two actions, compressibility and of soil and water, then it will be this compressibility of soil, this alpha S is the compressibility of soil plus compressibility of water into porosity. N is the porosity. Here N is the porosity. Whole into rho g. Rho g is the density and acceleration due to gravity. Okay, rho is the density of water. Okay, so if we have data about this compressibility, then we can calculate this specific storage. And compressibility, that we know, that is that already we know that from the in BTech, that all you know, might know this compressibility, that is the reciprocal of modulus of elasticity. Compressibility of any material is reciprocal of modulus of elasticity. A compressibility of soil, that is alpha we are taken here, alpha is 1 by modulus of elasticity of soil. Compressibility of water, that beta we have taken here, beta we have taken, beta W will be 1 by modulus of elasticity of water. Okay, so if you know this modulus of elasticity of soil and water, then you can calculate the compressibility and specific storage. This thing that is the storage coefficient or storativity, that already we covered. Storage coefficient is defined as the volume of water that an aquifer released from or take into storage per unit surface area of the aquifer per unit change in component of head normal to the surface. That means per unit change in head. It means per unit change in head, and this per unit surface area. Only difference is that. And that it is a dimensionless quantity involving volume of water to volume of this aquifer. That means volume of water to area of the aquifer per unit change in head. Whereas the specific storage is the volume of the water and volume of the total volume of the aquifer. Instead of unit area, it will be volume of aquifer. So if you multiply width, with the specific storage, we'll get the storage storativity or storage coefficient. Okay, because storativity is the volume of water divided by volume of total volume under unit change in head. So this volume of total volume we can write A into B. Okay. So if we multiply one B, then it will give you this volume of water divided by unit area into unit head change, which is nothing but 1 by A into dVW divided by dS. Okay. So this is storativity. So again, you remember that storativity is the multiplication of specific storage and width of the aquifer. Okay, these things already we have covered. So come to this numericals that we have to solve. Here in Darcy's experiment, water of viscosity flows through a soil having hydraulic conductivity of 0.01 cm per second. Calculate intrinsic permeability of the soil. Specific weight of the water is calculated like this: rho g. Okay, rho is the density into g. G is the 9.81. Rho is the density, and density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. Kg per meter cube or 1 gram per cc. So since we are considering here SI unit we are taking, since we are taking 9.81 as G, so it will be 1000 into 9.81, so it will be 9810 Newton per meter cube, so it will be 9.81 into 10 to the minus 3 Newton per centimeter cube. Means in centimeter it is converted. So here hydraulic conductivity is given 0.01 cm per second. Viscosity of water is given. Okay, in centimeter you can convert. Okay. It is up to us that we can convert in centimeter or we can convert it into meter. So we know that this intrinsic permeability is that equation is capital K into E mu divided by rho G. This equation already I have discussed in the previous two classes. This hydraulic conductivity that already we discussed, this is small k, that is intrinsic permeability into rho G, which is the specific weight of water, divided by mu, which is a coefficient of viscosity. Okay, so this small k or the intrinsic permeability we can calculate as capital K into mu by rho G. Okay, so here k value we can put here, the k value, and this mu value we can put, and rho G we can put. And already we have discussed that is one unit. Okay, either we can write in terms of meter square or centimeter square, or we can write in this unit, Darcy's unit, which is used in the petroleum industry, and 1 Darcy means all the units should be in cm square. These units should be in cm square. Cm. Okay, that's why everything is converted to cm. So it is 9.96 into 10 to the minus 8 cm square, which will give you 1 darcy. If we convert it to 1 cm square, then it will be 1 darcy. Okay, coming to the next example. If the groundwater flows through an aquifer with a cross-sectional area of 1 into 10 to the 4 meter square and length of 1500 meter. Hydraulic heads are 300 meter and 250 meter and groundwater entry and exit point in the aquifer respectively. Groundwater discharges into stream at the rate of 1500 meter cube per day. What is the hydraulic conductivity of the aquifer? Means what is the K? If the porosity of the material is 0.3, means mu is 0.3, what is the pore velocity of water? Pore velocity of water. It is asking pore velocity of water. The porosity of the material is mu is given 0.3. So here how the velocity is calculated? So Darcy's equation we have to use. Here you can see the Darcy's velocity, that already you know, that from here you can calculate Q by the area. The area is given, okay, area is given and discharge is given 1500 meter cube. Q is given and area is given. So here velocity of water, that is the Darcy's velocity. This is Darcy's velocity that you can calculate. Hydraulic gradient is ds by dl. Hydraulic gradient is ds by dl. That is 300 minus 250. Here hydraulic heads 300 and 250 at entry and exit. So loss will be 50 meter divided by the length. Length is 4 meter. Okay, that is the, sorry, this one. Here length is 1500 meters. This the length is 1500. So here we can calculate ds by dl hydraulic gradient. So hydraulic conductivity will be k is equal to velocity divided by ds by dl. So here we can calculate simply by using this equation 4.5 meter per day. So pore velocity of water, that already we have discussed. Pore velocity of water, that is the velocity which we have calculated using this Darcy's equation or using this discharge by area. That velocity divided by, this is called pore velocity or this is called actual velocity, because velocity of water occurs through the pores only. Through the pores only. Darcy considered the velocity or the flow of water through the soil surface. It did not distinguish the soil and the pores. He considered soil and pores everything same, everything pores. He did not distinguish them. Actually, but velocity actually can occur only through pores. So this is the actual velocity, or it is called pore velocity of water, which is this V, Darcy's velocity divided by eta. Eta you can say, that is the porosity. N you can say. Eta or N, whatever notation you can give. B by this N, which is 0.15 divided by 0.3, which will give you 0.5 meter per day. Next is next example. A combined aquifer has 3 layers. Bottom layer, bottom layer consists of coarse sand of thickness thickness of 4 meter. This is 4. Okay, this is 4. Hydraulic conductivity here K1 is given. Another layer, middle layer consists of 3 meter. This is 3, and this here it is 0.02 K2. And top layer, the top layer consists of gravel 4 meter. Hydraulic conductivity is 2 meter per second, means K3 you can take. Calculate the equivalent hydraulic conductivity of the combined aquifer if the flow is along the stratification. And in the second bit, it is asking to calculate the flow in normal to the stratification. So in the direction of the flow and normal to the direction of the flow, means KB and KH, you have to calculate. Already we have derived in the previous class. The KH is summation of this KE, it is taken here. Okay, so this is KH, and it is KI suffix I into B suffix I, means the thickness of each layer. Okay, so summation of this multiplication K1 B1 plus K2 B2 K3 B3. So everything is given. So just we have to convert into meter into centimeter. You have to convert it in this meter into centimeter because hydraulic conductivity is given in centimeter per second. So K1 B1 plus K2 B2 plus K3 B3 divided by B1 plus B2 plus B3. Okay, so we'll get 0.7315 cm per second. Similarly, in the second bit, if the flow is normal to the stratification, then equivalent hydraulic conductivity to the confined aquifer is this summation of the thickness divided by the K1. Here L1 is taken because it is vertical, so notation L1 is taken same as this thickness. L1 is nothing but this thickness. This H1 by K1 plus H2 by K2 plus H3 by K3. So if you put this values, okay, and if you can convert this meter into centimeter, because K is given in centimeter per second, so you can calculate and we will get 5.783 into 10 to the minus 3 cm per second. So next question, it is asking to calculate the transmissivity of the confined aquifer if the flow is along the stratification. If the flow is along the stratification, we have to calculate the transmissivity. Transmissivity is nothing but hydraulic conductivity into width or the thickness. Okay, or the thickness you can say, K into B. So it is asking if the flow is along the stratification. If it is along the stratification, then the equivalent transmissivity will be K1 B1 plus K2 B2 plus K3 B3, because the hydraulic conductivity is different in different layers. Okay, there is 3 layer and 3 layer hydraulic conductivity is different. Therefore, it will be the transmissivity of each means T1, T2, T3. Transmissivity of each layer. We have to add the transmissivity of each layer. So T1 plus T2 plus T3. Okay, so it is 8040.6 cm square per second. Coming to next example, in a field test, a tracer took 8 hours to travel between 2 observation wells which are 56 apart. It's here tracer test is conducted to calculate the discharge. Okay, 8 hours to travel between 2 observations which are 56 meter apart. The difference in water table elevation in these wells are 0.7 meter. Means here to here, here is one well, another well is here, and there is a difference of this elevation. Means water table elevation is 0.7. Difference of elevation between these 2 points is 0.7 meter, and the 56 is the length between these 2 wells. And it takes 8 hours. Okay, for this 0.7 drawdown. So from here, the discharge can be calculated in this form in the centimeters per second. Means in the drawdown per second. So discharge you can calculate. The volume of the void of the aquifer is 30% of the total volume of the aquifer. If the void is given, void divided by total volume Vt into 100 is 30%. It means porosity is porosity is 30%. It means porosity is 30%. Calculate the hydraulic conductivity and intrinsic permeability aquifer viscosity of water is given. So first we have to calculate this hydraulic conductivity. Then intrinsic permeability you can calculate. So here first actual velocity from this tracer test, actual velocity can be calculated. Okay, so the actual velocity of water will be this 56 meter, you have to convert it into centimeter, 56 100 divided by 8 into 3600. It is in 8 hours, so in centimeter second we have to convert, so it will be 0.1945 cm per second. So the porosity is given 30%. So here the velocity means which actual velocity already we know that actual velocity is Darcy's velocity divided by porosity, that we know. Actual velocity is the Darcy's velocity divided by porosity. So actual velocity that we have calculated here. Okay, but the Darcy's velocity will be this actual velocity into porosity. So porosity is 0.3 and actual velocity is 0.1945 that we have calculated here. cm per second. So here Darcy's velocity will be 0.0583 cm per second. So now hydraulic gradient. So the drawdown is 0.7 from this well to this well. Water table elevation difference is 0.7. So drawdown will be, means hydraulic gradient will be 0.7 divided by 56 meter. 0.7 meter divided by 56 meter. So it will be 0.0125. So both are in meter. Okay. So unit conversion is not required. Hydraulic conductivity is K. That using this Darcy's equation we can use. We can put here B divided by ds by dl, velocity, Darcy's velocity divided by ds by dl hydraulic gradient, which is equal to 0.0583 divided by 0.0125, which is equal to 4.664 cm per second. So once we calculate this K, then this intrinsic probability that already we have discussed. This intrinsic probability is this capital K, or the hydraulic conductivity, into mu divided by rho g. So this capital K is here 4.664 cm per second into mu. Mu is the viscosity coefficient that is given 0.995 into 10 to minus 3, and ns means Newton second per meter square. So you have to convert it into cm square. Just the values you have to put here, mu and the specific weight rho g. So if you put the values, you will get 4.73 into 10 to the minus 5 cm square. So like this, problems can be solved. Another problem here, a confined aquifer thickness. This is the last problem. Okay, confined aquifer has a thickness of 25 meter and porosity of 30%. Porosity is given and aquifer thickness is given. If the bulk modulus of elasticity of water and the formation of material, means the soil. Formation material means soil. Modulus of elasticity of water and soil is given. Water, it is 2.12 10 to the minus 5 Newton per cm square, and soil, it is given 5000 Newton per cm square respectively. Calculate the storage coefficient, means storativity. We have to calculate the storativity. Storativity is specific storage into B. B is given here 25 meter. First, we have to calculate the specific storage. Specific storage is already that we discussed in the first slide. That is alpha S, that is the compressibility of the soil plus compressibility of water into porosity, okay, into specific weight of water rho g. This alpha S is nothing but 1 by ES, modulus of elasticity of soil plus modulus of elasticity of water into the theta to rho g. So modulus of elasticity of water is given 2.12 into 10 to the 5 Newton per cm square. So compressibility, the beta you can calculate here. Beta W is calculated here. Beta W is calculated here. 1 by. Okay. So like bulk modulus of formation is given, means soil is given, and compressibility of formation will be alpha will be 1 by ES. 1 by this 5000 Newton per cm square. It will give you 2 into 10 to the minus 4 cm square per meter. Specific of water, specific weight of water rho g is 9.81 into 10 to the minus 3 Newton per cm cube. Okay. So now the specific storage in this formula, just put the values and we will get the answer. Now storage coefficient or the storativity will be this into thickness 2500 meter. So in centimeter I convert to 2500, so it will give you 4.94 into 10 to the power minus 3. There are no limit. Storativity has no limit. Storativity or storage coefficient, because there is volume of water divided by area into change in head. So it is nothing but the volume. Okay. So it is no unit. So like this, we can solve the problems. Okay. Thank you for today's class. Thank you. Thank you so much.